Measuring the effectiveness of medical affairs teams has become increasingly critical in today's rapidly evolving industry. Years ago, the focus on quantifying the impact of medical affairs was minimal, often overshadowed by other metrics like revenue generation or prescription numbers by the sales teams. However, with the shift in the industry that has elevated medical affairs to be a strategic pillar, it has become imperative to establish clear, meaningful metrics to evaluate the performance of medical affairs. And as expected, unlike sales teams, where success can be easily quantified through revenues or the number of prescriptions, the contribution of medical affairs are more shady, involving scientific engagements like the one that we will discuss today, thought leader development, data dissemination, generation, among other responsibilities. So, as medical affairs teams play nowadays a pivotal role in bridging the gap between the scientific community and the business, setting clear measurements for all aspects of our job has become non negotiable. This focus on effectiveness not
Now,
only
let's
underscores the
start our
value
session
that the
for
medical
today.
affairs brings to the organization,
As we discussed
but
earlier,
also
relationships
aligns
with
with the
key opinion
broader
leaders
industry trend
often serve as a
towards evidence
cornerstone
based
of effective
decision
making.
medical strategies. These relationships or partnerships provide invaluable insights, they enhance our credibility, and pave way for meaningful advancements in patient care. However, effectively managing key opinion leader engagements of MSLs or field medical teams requires more than just good intentions. It demands a strategic approach. That's where smart goals come into play. One of the challenges medical affairs professionals often face is ambiguity in their key opinion leader engagement objectives. When goals are unclear or ill defined, it misses the roadmap for engagement, creating inefficiencies and missed opportunities. It also leads to difficulty in performance assessment at both the individual and the operational levels. Smart goals are those that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. They offer framework that eliminates ambiguity. Each SMART goal creates a clear action plan with built-in milestones and accountability, laying the foundation for a successful key opinion leader engagement strategy. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like, for example, improve our relationship with key opinion leaders, a SMART goal could be to conduct 3 quarterly webinars with oncology key opinion leaders over the next 12 months to share research findings on our new medication. So that's just an example. It's a specific, measurable, and time bound and achievable, and has all the
Measurability
criteria
matters.
that the
One
M
would
need in
letter
order to
in
assess
SMART,
the
the
effectiveness
word
of
SMART
this initiative
stands
at
for
the end
measurable.
of the cycle or
And
at
in
the
the
end of
context
the
of
key opinion leader
year,
engagement. This is very, very important. Metrics such as the number of key opinion leaders engaged, the quality of interactions, the feedback received on a new drug can be quantified and analyzed. This enables medical affairs teams to make data driven decisions. With the letter R, emphasizes that goals should be relevant. And relevant in the context of key opinion leader engagements means that we are engaging with key opinion leaders, and these engagements are aligned with the overall objectives of the organization. which is particularly crucial for everyone in the organization, whether medical or commercial. The focus of engagement must align with the broader organizational objectives, whether it's gaining insights for new drug development, establishing a strong advisory board, or enhancing company's reputation within a specific therapeutic area. This is very, very important. Also, SMART goals brings the letter T, which indicates time bound, and this is a sign for accountability. So here are the SMART goals altogether. Specific, clearly define what you hope to achieve. Instead of saying, I wanted to engage with key opinion leaders, you might say, I aim to establish connections with 10 new oncology key opinion leaders. Measurable, quantifiable indicators to evaluate success. For example, the number of key opinion leaders engaged, quality of interactions, or the conversion rates in educational campaigns. The goals are achievable and should challenge you, but still be within reach, given existing resources and constraints. Setting unattainable goals can set the team up for failure. Relevant goals should align with broader organizational objectives. Engaging with key opinion leaders, for example, in dermatology, won't make sense if the company specializes in cardiovascular medicine. Time bound objectives are those objectives that have a set time frame for when the goal should be achieved, deadlines to create a sense of urgency and help to
Of course, we
prioritize
can
tasks.
classify the
So
goals
we will
according
use
to
the
the time or
SMART
according
model
to
in order
perspective of
to
these
set
goals. So,
goals
for
for
example,
our
there are
key opinion
short-term goals,
leader
long-term
engagement.
goals, goals that are focused on the why. They are called strategic goals, and goals that are more tactical in nature, addressing the how we can do the why. So, there are different classifications of goals. However, for now, we agreed that for key opinion leader engagements, we will use the SMART goals. And now let's see how can we measure these goals after setting them up.
Generally, in medical affairs, we use four types of metrics: qualitative, quantitative, operational, and value based metrics. So let's try to understand each type of these metrics, and then we will decide which category of those metrics can fit best to measure the effectiveness of key opinion leader engagements. Qualitative metrics, these are the metrics that oftenly used to measure the quality of any interaction or initiative. And of course, we can use them for key opinion leader engagements. For example, post engagement surveys to assess the quality of the key opinion leader relationship or even single interaction. The quantitative metrics, on the other hand, they are numerical metrics that can be easily measured and compared. Example, the number of publications authored by the key opinion leaders, the number of interactions with the key opinion leaders, the number of new key opinion leaders added to the list of the MSL, and so on. And again, we can use these quantitative metrics in key opinion leader engagements. Operational metrics, these metrics focus on the efficiency of processes and operations. They can use in different applications in medical affairs, including assessment of certain operation or process that is developed by a team leader in order to ensure operational excellence or
to fasten certain initiatives, and so on. While on the other hand, the value based metrics are used to evaluate long term projects or long term goals. These metrics measure the value generated by any initiative, including the key opinion leader engagement. But I would say that if we will use a value based metric to measure key opinion engagement, we need to measure this or use the metric over a period of 2 to 3 years at least, not 6 months or 1 year. So, the best fit for assessing the effectiveness of key opinion leader engagements by field medical teams or by MSLs, I would say qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics. But the trick here is to ensure that you need to use a mix of both qualitative and quantitative. And qualitative, of course, ensures that we are delivering a standard high quality engagement or developing a high quality partnership. Let's see some examples of qualitative metrics for key opinion leader engagement. And let's say that you want to measure the satisfaction of your key opinion leaders about your interactions or your engagements. In this case, you will need to possibly utilize post engagement surveys to measure the satisfaction level of your key opinion leaders. These surveys can include questions about the usefulness of the materials presented, or the relevance of the topics discussed, or the openness of the dialogue, and the likelihood of future collaboration. If you, on the other hand, wanted to see how relevant the content you are delivering, you would implement a scoring system for each topic discussed during the interactions, where key opinion leaders can rate the relevance and applicability of the content. This offers a direct measure of how aligned your strategies are with current medical challenges and key opinion leaders' interests. If we wanted to evaluate something on a long term, like for example the advocacy level, we need to measure the frequency and sentiment of mentions by the key opinion leader in public spaces. For example, as they are recommending your therapy in interviews, are they citing your studies in their publications? Sentiment analysis tools can help here. So it can be a bit complicated, but the recommendation here is to use simple metrics to measure the quality of key opinion leader engagements. And I think collective approach that includes multiple MSLs or multiple therapeutic area would be ideal in such situations. If we come to the qualitative metrics for key opinion leader engagements, this is relatively easier. We can use the number of key opinion leaders engaged. We can use the frequency of interactions, how many times we interacted with the top key opinion leaders, for example. And we can use also the number of research output or publications that resulted from this or such engagements. Because of the evolution that happened in the industry during the last few years, and because this industry is a very dynamic one, pharmaceutical organizations have increasingly recognized the value of medical affairs as a strategic pillars for the future. As a result, there is a growing tendency to empower the medical teams by allocating more resources, and sometimes on the expense of trimming down commercial resources.
This is a major shift that never happened in the industry before. This shift presents unique dilemma: how to measure the effectiveness and return of investment for medical teams, for medical initiatives. As we mentioned earlier, unlike commercial teams where return of investment can directly be tied to sales figures or market share or number of prescriptions, the contributions of medical affairs is different. And the contributions of medical teams are multifaceted and not easily quantifiable. They, the medical team, they play a critical role in scientific engagements, medical education, data generation, data dissemination, and these initiatives are difficult to quantify. The challenge here lies in developing comprehensive set of metrics that can capture the impact of medical affairs, whether you are using qualitative or quantitative metrics. But this set of metrics must be developed for each initiative's medical affairs do. These set of metrics could range from quality of scientific engagements and the influence on clinical practice guidelines to the level of collaboration with key opinion leaders, as we discussed in this module. By establishing a robust framework of measuring effectiveness, pharmaceutical organizations cannot only justify the relocation of resources, but also can optimize the performance of medical affairs teams. This is very, very crucial for ensuring that the shift in resource allocation aligns with the organization's strategic goals and delivers tangible value.